Seriously, goblin dogs? I already have to be reminded every single time I watch the new intro that those stupid things exist, but now this episode throws them in my face too? How disappointing. No, I'm kidding, actually, this episode was really freaking good. Star and Marco are surprised to learn that somehow Star is traveling between dimensions in her sleep. First, simply traveling to the goblin dog dimension and buying a bunch of them, and then later, bringing the entire goblin dog food truck back to her bedroom. Star makes use of Marco in his official capacity as her squire to wait up and find out what's going on. He learns that she's transforming into the golden butterfly form that she used to defeat Toffee, and that form apparently has the ability to open pathways between dimensions without scissors. She tries to talk to her parents about it, but when they react very badly to the idea that this could be happening outside of her control, she decides to keep the exact details of what's going on secret from them. When she and Marco fail to keep her chained to her room, leading to the two of them almost getting caught out in space, it's actually Eclipsa who saves them. And whereas Star's parents seemed very against the idea of this happening, to the point that if they had confirmation that it was, they would try to suppress it, Eclipsa encourages Star to just let it happen. So far, the only real danger to anyone came as a result of her trying to stop this process. And if she doesn't let it happen, she'll never know what her full potential is. She'll never learn why this is happening and what it could lead to. So Star dismisses Marco and decides to just kind of go with the flow from now. But Marco, worried about her, sneaks back into her room at the end to, at the very least, keep an eye on her. This episode went back to the old Season 3 formula of being apparently set up for later events, because there was no resolution to this situation in this episode specifically. I'm assuming that this is going to be part of a Season 3 arc for Star's character, which is good. She hasn't really had an arc up to this point. At least not this season. Her arc through Seasons 1 and 2 was her growing and maturing into a more responsible person, more suited for inheriting the throne from her mother eventually. For the most part, she has grown into a very responsible young woman. That arc is concluded. She doesn't need to continue down it any further. So giving her this new arc, exploring this new ability that she's manifested, I think really makes a lot of sense. It may come off as her being a little bit irresponsible, her taking a few steps back in her development again, when she agrees with Eclipsa at the end and decides not to try to stop this from happening despite how worried her mother was about it. But I actually agree with Eclipsa here, at least to a point. Unless something changes and this proves to be more dangerous than it appears right now, I don't think there's any harm in letting it happen. But I do think, despite the fact that the only time this went bad was when Marco was present, it is a good idea for him to remain present and at least observe this process. Because if something does change and this does become more dangerous, they need to know immediately. Glossaric was featured in this episode again, and he even seems to kind of be very, very slightly growing beyond the almost animalistic thing he's become, because he does show worry for Star and even goes and gets Eclipsa from her tower when Star is in danger, though it isn't explicitly said he did that on purpose. Eclipsa meeting Marco and likewise was very interesting, and we again see the similarities between Star and Eclipsa, when Eclipsa is the only person who Star feels she can tell the full gravity of this situation to, aside from Marco. It's also good to see a situation where the old Star-Marco dynamic is still valid and used. We've actually gotten kind of a reversal of it lately in Princess Turdina, for example, Marco being the irresponsible one and Star trying to talk him down from that. It's nice to see that old dynamic return in this new context. Overall, there wasn't a ton of content in this episode. This felt like the bare bones of a standalone story, like several past Season 3 episodes have. But this episode brings a lot of potential to the table, and I do fully expect that we will see payoff for this later down the line. As per usual though, guys, I'd like to know, what did you think of this episode? If you have seen it, let's get a discussion going in the comments section down below or over on my Discord. Link in the description. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.